Please note that this is not a kid-friendly channel. This channel is for adult collectors, for anime figures, collectibles, and various other anime items.
Greetings and salutations to you, my beautiful nerdy people. It is I, Ratedus. Hello, hello. Today I have a figure review for you today, and I have 4 My Hero Academia figures to review. I got these via my good friend Ruben, who ordered some figures for me via a website, and he did have a website at some time, but unfortunately he is taking it down just due to the economy and everything going. It's just not worth doing anymore, unfortunately, but he got these figures in for me, and I'm really happy. So I have 4, like I said. So I have the Age of Heroes Lemillion, the Art Academy Tomager, the King of Arts Bakugo, and the Piece de Resistance, the Stunk Grandista All Might by Presto. So I'm going to review these all one by one and show you the lovely anime goodness that is in these boxes. So stick around. Okay, so first up today is the Age of Heroes Lemillion figure. First, when I saw Lemillion, I wasn't the biggest fan of this character, but obviously as the series progressed, and obviously as we saw his quirks and, you know, the kind of person he was, then I started to actually like him a lot more. So this is the box. So really nice, cool artwork on the box. It's got this sort of pop art style, sort of comic style texture to the artwork, which is really super nice. And as always, this is by Presto, by Presto Bandai. They are actually part of a new company, so what I've heard, they have combined companies now. So they are, as always, still making really top-notch figures. And that's just the other side of the box. So again, just more comic style artwork. The actual image of the figure on the back of Lemillion, and just a close-up of his face. So really nice box. So I'm just going to pop that there. And let's get to the actual figure. So I have just opened these figures up and prepared them ready. So here is Lemillion. Unfortunately, the problem with this figure is the cape and the head do come off quite easy. So if you are sort of a prominent figure displayer, I would probably recommend gluing this in, as it does have a tendency to pop out if, you know, during like hot weather or anything. So there we go, his cape's in nicely now. So here he is. So obviously a really nice figure. Obviously, of his really nice prominent costume, and obviously, if you've not seen Lemillion, obviously he's called Lemillion because he wants to save over 1 million people. And yeah, basically his quirk is he can phase throughout any material objects. And yeah, but the only problem is he has to be completely naked when he does it, apart from when he's in his suit, because it's adaptable to his quirk. So as you can see, he's got a really cool billowing cape behind him, which I think gives the figure a lot of dramatic effect, because obviously the cape did play a little bit of a part in the ending battle between Overhaul, and it was quite a touching moment actually. And obviously when he got injured and everything, that was really the intent of hooks, that he were going to kill him off, but luckily he didn't. He just got injured. So anyway, back to the figure. So let's just have a look at the facial sculpt. So really cool. He does have very simplistic features to his face. He's just got very small eyes and just a very basic, you know, face details. A lot of people compare him to the Pip-Boy on Fallout, because because obviously the blonde hair and the little pupils. So I don't know if it was an actual nod to the franchise. I'm not sure. The actual artist hasn't actually said, but he does make like a lot of references in My Hero Academia to like Marvel and DC and other various superheroes. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's picked up on sort of other game quality characters as well. Obviously, there's a lot of shading details on his chest area and his arms. They've done a really good sculpt on this costume, and obviously he's got his boots, which do remind me a little bit of Super Saiyan boots a little bit, and the blue the blue leggings kind of remind me of Vegeta. So yeah, a really super nice figure. So this figure was released in February this year, and originally was just a prize crane game figure, and he stands about 18 centimeters tall. So yeah, just a basic average Bandai figure, but it's really super nice. So that is the Age of Heroes Lemillion. Okay, next up we have Stuk, the King of Arts Bakugo, or King of Artists Bakugo. So obviously, if you've never heard of King of Arts figures, basically it's when Bandai do a competition to sculptors of figures or artists to create new sculpts for figures, and I really like it when they do this. He do these a lot for My Hero and especially Dragon Ball, and you get some really, really cool sculpts. So it's just a pretty basic box. There's Bakugo on the front looking super duper angry, looking he's about to do his explosion attack, and most of the box is just different various shots, and it's pretty much the same back and front. Unfortunately, it doesn't say anything about the artist who sculpted this figure, so I was a bit disappointed because I would have liked to have found out. But it's super nice. I don't know if it's here in Japanese, so I'll have to see if I can get it Google translated, if it'll work. So let's bring out the bad boy himself. And unfortunately, one of his ears has just fallen off. Both of his ears have just fallen off. So here's the figure. So I just got to put his ears back on. Okay, so here is Bakugo. Yeah, unfortunately, these little pieces here, just a heads up, they do fall off again very, very easily. The plugs aren't great, and it's particularly difficult to get it in because of all his spikes on his hair. So again, I would recommend you super glue this if you're displaying it somewhere where it could get easily knocked. So I'm sorry for the dust. It's been on my side for quite some time, so many apologies. So there we go, a little bit less dusty. So here we go. So here is Bakugo looking super duper cool. The stand, it's a little bit wobbly, so again, if it's somewhere where it's like very rickety floorboards, I'd just be very, very careful when displaying him, because it's just one of these basic simple plugs that goes into the back of the figure. So really, really cool. I do love this sculpt. It's super duper nice. So this figure again stands 18 centimeters tall. This was released actually last Christmas, on Christmas Eve, and again this was just a exclusive price figure to various crane games in Japan. So let's just have a look at the overall figure itself. So the facial sculpt is really super cool. It's really dynamic facial expressions, because obviously with Bakugo being the king of angry boys, yeah, he can't just be like, you know, just pure grimace face all the time. So his eyes look really super angry. They've done a cool sculpt on the teeth. They could have done a little bit of a better paint job because some of the white is overlapping onto the tongue, but overall it's not that bad. The hair sculpt's really well done. They have put some slight shading in the paint there, and also the ears again really nice, really very bold orange and black. So typical Bakugo. They've done a really awesome sculpt on his costume, so just all the little details on the grenades on his belt. The boots are really super awesome, just even like the details on the bottom of the boots, which a lot of fakers making these figures would usually overskip. And all the parts where his gauntlets usually are, so I'm guessing this is where he's been battle damaged and his gauntlets have been blown off. Typical Bakugo destroying his own equipment. He's done that multiple times throughout the movies and the series itself. And here is the back shot of the figure. So yeah, really super nice piece, and I'm glad to add this to my collection. So this is the King of Arts Bakugo. Okay, so next up we have the Presto Figure Colosseum Academy collection. So I really do like this series because they do some really cool poses, and they do a lot of other characters which tend to get sort of pushed to the side, and Toga is probably one of my favourite villains throughout the series. And I know there are a lot of fanboys for this character, obviously because she's a bit of a Tsunade character, and I've seen a lot of very sort of, you know, lewd memes about her. And I've got a couple of friends that really like to cosplay as this character as well, and she is kind of cute. And she did have quite a lot of cameos during season sort of end of 2, season 3, and then she was kind of pushed to the back a little bit, and just a couple of cameos in the odd movies, but I still love her. So this is from the Presto Figure Colosseum series. So again, this I think is from a competition where artists put in their sculpts, and they can basically win. So there's actually 2 variants of this figure. So there's the colour variant, which I have, and the grey variant, which is obviously to be like the manga, which is black and white. I don't know why they really do black and white. I don't really know a lot of people that do like these figures. But hey ho, there's a figure for everyone. Sorry, I have to sneeze. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Here is the sculptor, which doesn't really want to be revealed for some reason, so I'll have to find out what his name is. He's probably given like a pen name, kind of like a mangaka, so I'll have to find out. So yeah, here's the box. So again, it's always sort of done this pop art comic artwork again, and yeah, there's Tomago's name, so Tomago Himiko, and again, just previews on the side of the box. Nothing fun, just a very basic box, because you're not collecting the box, you're collecting the figure. So let's have a look at Miss Tomago herself. So, and I'm just going to pop the box behind her. So, and here she is, looking really super cool. And I really like how they've displayed this figure. They've made the stand really nice and secure despite her pose, so she doesn't really wobble that much. I like the Bakugo figure. This figure again was very, very, very fiddly to put together, as it comes in a couple of parts. So obviously her torso, legs, and then her head is separate. Her neck accessory is separate, and then the backpack on is separate as well. So when you put it together, I would highly recommend putting the backpack on first and then doing the head, because you have to connect this to her hand, and it gets a little bit fiddly. It did take me about 10 minutes or so to put it together, because the head kept falling off. The key is to get the hair outside of this, and I kept getting it caught inside, and it was a bit of a pain to put together. But nonetheless, I'm still happy to have this figure. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm sorry if I'm sniffly. So this stands at 20 centimeters tall, so it's a little bit bigger than the average figures. And like I said, there's two variants, and this was released again the same as the Bakugo figures. This was released Christmas Eve last year as a Crane Game prize figure. And I found out actually the name, one of my friends told me, is the artist is actually called Tomogamaharu, which is a bit of an unusual name. So I'll have to say if there's anything else he's done sculpture wise, mainly probably in DBZ or any other My Hero Academia series. So let's have a look at Tomago herself, looking really cute. So sorry, my camera's being a bit derpy. So here's her face. So they've done a really, really nice decal on her eyes to make sure she looks really super crazy, but kind of super cute at the same time. And her mouth sculpt's really well done, so they have made sure to keep her fangs, because obviously her quirk is to do with blood. And yeah, basically if you've not watched her, she basically uses these needles that she has on her back. So she basically injects you, sucks the blood, and whatever blood she consumes, she can then turn into that person for a limited time. And she's a little bit crazy, and she's a little bit obsessed with Deku, as we see during the series. So they've done a really cool super sculpt on her mask, which a lot of people say is inspired by the Batman Bane mask, and I don't blame them. It does kind of look like that. And she's got like these weird teeth on her scarf, or her sort of neck piece. It's very similar to Deku's original thing, I think, when he had that weird thing around his neck. I can't remember if he did or not. I might be thinking of the original preview series. And they did a nice sculpt on her school uniform, so I'm just holding it here because it's easier to hold her without dropping her. And she's got these little pieces on her side of her legs which hold her blades, because she uses knives to cut as well as the needles. And they've got this really super nice line detail on her. When the camera decides to focus for me, please. Go on, camera. Nice to me. There we go. So there's this really nice line detail on her her stockings, or her up to knee socks, I should say, and this really nice shiny leather effect on her school shoes. And these are really cute. I actually had shoes like this for my Lucky Star Connor cosplay. So really super excited for this figure. I'm glad I got it for my collection. There are a couple other figures out there, but unfortunately they're the really like high quality end statues, which are a little bit more priced up, but really glad to have this piece in my collection nonetheless. Right, it's time for the final figure. Stunk. And he is here. Sorry, because of the height of the box, I had to adjust my camera. This is one of the figures I'm really looking forward to getting for my collection. I love Grandista figures. My partner has a couple of the One Piece ones, and I've been dying to get some for my collection. And when they said they were going to be releasing My Hero figures, I was really super happy. So this is the exclusive lines All Might, and there's actually two variants of this Grandista, but not in the same box. So this is the colour variant Grandista, which is just a standard colour. Sorry, my throat's a little dry, I do apologise. So yeah, there's the normal Grandista, and there's another one which is called the the variant Manga Dimension series, which is in a box with a clear facing so window, so you can see the actual figure, and it's done in an actual comic style, so it's got all the shading like it is in the anime, where he's quite bold and dynamic. So I might try and hunt it down, but a lot of people do price that one up because obviously it's another exclusive. But I'm glad to have the standard Grandista nonetheless. So here is All Might looking all prominent as always, and there's all the side shots of him on the box looking really super cool. And yeah, so love this, love it, love it, love it. So let's just get down to the overall figure itself. And stunk, here he is, this beast. I thought it was going to be a lot taller, but actually it's just your average standard size Grandista. So this one stands at 30 centimeters tall, or about 12 inches, and yeah, it's really super cool. A lot of people complain that the blues and the reds were too dark, which I kind of get what they mean. It could be a bit bolder. So when it is when you look at the manga dimensions, it's a lot more pop colored, a lot brighter, a lot more, a lot more All Might, I'm going to say. But I still love this figure nonetheless, because the sculpt on it is absolutely amazing. The face is awesome. The one thing I have about is the torso here is very loose. So again, you might want to super glue it just to be safe, because if you do lift it from the top, it can often slide off and you don't want to damage the figure. So let's just have an overall look at the facial sculpt. So really super cool. I love All Might. He's just literally one of my favourite anime characters. And I love both voice actors in Japanese and English dub, because Chris Sabat does an amazing All Might. He's just so cool. And even though his weakened All Might sounds just like Yamcha, as my fiance pointed out. So yeah, I love the sculpt they've done on the belt. They've just done a really, really super job on this figurine. The stand is okay. It doesn't really need the stand, to be honest, but just to be on the safe side, it's just good to have it on there, just to be super safe so it doesn't fall over. And there's the back of the figure. So again, really super cool. They've done a really good job on the muscle sculpt on this. Yeah, again, 30 centimeters. The one gripe I have is obviously there is the Grandista Deku, and here he is, and next to him, yeah, he is about nearly almost the same size, when Deku should probably be about here to All Might size, but he's nearly as tall as him. So I would have liked it to be probably about, well, I would have liked the All Might to be a little bit taller, but obviously it would have been a lot more priced up if it was. So that was the Grandista All Might. So guys, that was my figure review, so I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. And what figure was your favourite, and who is your favourite My Hero Academia character? So please leave in the comments below, and as always, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I welcome all my new subscribers, so hello, hello. And until my next review guys, I'm going to say sayonara, stay nerdy, stay happy, and wear a mask and stay safe my peeps. Plus Ultra!